GQ Korea CEO admits he was amazed. Taehyung's performance was so amazing it made him proud. Hello ARMY all around the world. If right now you are listening to this voice, in the middle of a quiet night, or in between a very busy day, maybe this is not a coincidence. Because there are stories that are not meant to be heard with the ears, but to be felt with the heart. And today's story is still about one name, whose steps are always calm, yet whose echo always reaches the entire world. Kim Taehyung. When the CEO of GQ Korea expressed his admiration, perhaps for some people, it was only a short statement among countless pieces of industry news. But for those who have followed Taehyung's journey since the very beginning, those words felt different. Because we know, recognition like this is not born in a single night. It grows through long stretches of time, through processes that are never easy, through patience that is often unseen. Do you remember how Taehyung once stood as a young trainee, with a big dream, but without any guarantee? No one knew how far he would go. No one could be certain the world would recognize him. There was only practice, sweat, and a small belief he protected on his own. Day after day passed. Year after year went by. And without much noise, he kept growing. Slowly, quietly, but surely. Maybe that is what makes Taehyung's performance today feel so different. Because what we see on stage is not only the result of training. It is the trace of time, stored in every movement. There is maturity that cannot be fabricated. There is emotion that cannot be faked. And there is sincerity that can only be born from a long journey. That is why even someone who has seen so many global stars can still feel surprised, can still feel proud, can still feel happy. Happy. A simple word, yet it feels so warm when spoken by someone at the peak of the industry. Because that happiness means Taehyung did not only succeed in performing, he also succeeded in touching hearts. And touching human hearts is an achievement far greater than numbers, awards, or popularity. In a world that moves so fast, many people try to shine with the loudest voice. But Taehyung chose a different way. He chose calmness. He chose depth. He chose honesty. And precisely because of that, his light feels different. Not a light that blinds the eyes, but a light that slowly warms the heart. Maybe this is why every Taehyung era always feels like a new chapter. Not merely a change of concept. Not only a visual transformation, but a transformation of the soul that becomes more mature, more expansive, and more understanding of what it truly means to be an artist. Because in the end, being an artist is not about how many people see you, but about how deeply your work can accompany someone you may never even meet. And Taehyung has done that again and again. ARMY. Across different parts of the world, there is someone smiling because they hear his voice. There is someone surviving through a difficult day because they see his steps. And there is someone who believes in dreams again, because Taehyung's journey proves that the impossible can become real. Maybe the CEO of GQ Korea felt the same thing. He simply expressed it in the language of the industry, with the word extraordinary, with a feeling of pride, with happiness that could not be hidden. And today, as we reflect on all of this, we realize one simple truth. Taehyung's journey is not finished. There are still new steps waiting ahead. There are still stages he has yet to stand on. There are still dreams quietly being prepared. Dreams that may unfold, not with noise, not with grand announcements, but in the same gentle way he has always moved. Slowly, sincerely, and full of meaning. Because someone like Taehyung never stops at a single achievement. He keeps walking, keeps learning, keeps growing, even when the world already sees him as perfect. And maybe that is the greatest reason so many people feel proud, not only because of what he has achieved, but because of who he is behind all those achievements. Someone who remains humble, warm, human, in the middle of such bright spotlight. Someone who understands that true light is not about being seen, but about quietly helping others see hope inside themselves. If someday the world becomes quiet again, and Taehyung's steps are heard once more in a new place, maybe we will remember this small moment today, when someone said his performance was extraordinary, and the happiness was real, because actually, we have known it for a long time. We were only waiting for the world to say it out loud. And perhaps the next chapter will not only be about success, awards, or recognition, but about something even deeper. A story of time, of patience, of a heart that continues to choose kindness, no matter how high it rises. Thank you for still walking together in this quiet story. If your heart feels a little warmer, maybe it is not because of these words, but because somewhere in this world, someone keeps trying to become a light without ever asking to be seen. Kim Taehyung. And until the next moment arrives, until another quiet story finds us again, may we continue to walk forward too, a little braver, a little kinder, and a little more hopeful than we were yesterday. See you in the next story, which may once again make us pause, take a deeper breath, and remember that the quietest beauty often comes from the most sincere heart.